Greetings, YouTube. Happy Tuesday. You know, when you see the word lesser by a deal, you know for a fact that there are more tiers of this deal because that's just kind of kabam saying there's going to be some greater bundle advantages to this. So there are multiple tiers of today's bundle. I actually don't think it's terrible offer overall. It's not also the best offer for Tier 2 alphas we've seen by any means. And that, of course, is outside of Cyber Monday and July 4th. So let's kind of jump into this bundle and discuss it. You know, first off, I think it's really funny that the first tier is 10,800 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments, because sometimes I feel like Kabam stalks my account and makes deals based solely off of what I have in my inventory. There's absolutely that's a joke, by the way. They make these deals like 6 months in advance. But in general, like, it's kind of funny that I am about 10,850 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments away from forming another T2A, and I would be 50 short if I got this first bundle. Besides that, you get 2 Tier 1 alphas. I really, really wish they would just get this to 5. Give summoners who spend $20 a guaranteed chance to have enough Tier 1 alphas in their inventory to take a 5-star up a rank, especially from rank 1 to rank 2 to get that started. And then you get the stuff that I don't even factor into the grade. It's just kind of thrown in. A small amount of gold, 50,000, and 10 Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment crystals, which is also not worth factoring into the overall grade. So, you know, I think this is basically a C-. I think Tier 2 alphas, when they're a good deal, or at least a better than average deal, are $50 a piece now. We've seen that price go down about half of what it used to be, which was $99.99, or the price of an Odin. But the best deal we have seen in the contest is the deal that I was super hyped up about, and a lot of people thought it was too generous of a grade, but I stand by it to this day. And that was for the price of an Odin, which was $99.99, the January daily calendar, which after 30 days, you got 2.5 Tier 2 alphas, 3 Tier 4 class catalysts of your choice, Tier 4 basics, Tier 1 alphas, and gold, plus I think other things, for $100. So substitute that offer, which some people put their noses at and thought it was bad because they were too focused on the Tier 4 class catalyst that they had overflowing into their inventory, and replace it with this, which has a lot less value for a little bit more of a price. If this was considered by me to be a good to great deal, it would be half the price. It would be $10. I think this is a really good, fair deal for $10 because it prices a Tier 2 alpha at less than $50 and throws in a couple of Tier 1s and then 10 Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment crystals and 50,000 gold for free. But of course, I don't make the deals at Kabam, so it's twice that price at $19.99 unless you live in, say, Australia, in which you look at it and think, wow, that's priced the same as the mortgage of my house. Now we are going to look at the other tiers of good old Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst bundles, and we're going to go from lesser to advanced. Now, this is the same price as Tony Stark's briefcase, and to remind you of what that is, because we're going to be talking briefly about both Tony Stark's briefcase and Black Panther's treasure. Tony Stark's briefcase is $30 and Black Panther's treasure is $50. So indeed, the sum of all three of these United States dollars is $100, or the same price of an Odin. Again, if you're in a country like Canada, also that the currency is not even, you're going to be paying more, which is really too bad, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Okay, so for the same price as Tony Stark's briefcase, aka $29.99 American dollars, you get almost half of a Tier 2 alpha, 16,200, 3 Tier 1 alphas, so it takes $50 to have enough Tier 1 alphas to rank up a 5-star to the next rank, which is really too bad. And then this is where I think I get real disappointed in this bundle, because for an extra $30, they should be giving you far more Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment crystals than just 5 more. If anything, they should give you a fully formed Tier 4 class Catalyst crystal. We've seen those now for free in daily login calendars, and so their accessibility is a lot better now, thankfully, as well as they are in the Glory store. And so I think it's about time Kabam, especially for intermediate players who don't have Tier 4 class Catalyst overflowing in their inventory and need them desperately even to rank up 4 stars, they have a better opportunity in these bundles to have these thrown in if they're willing to pay a second and third tier cover charge for them. But instead, whoever marketed this, they just really missed the mark on making it more accessible for many players to get Tier 4 class catalysts by including just 5 more fragment crystals. And so at this point, it's $50. And $50 at this point should give you 36,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments. That is the retail price of a solid value. This, unfortunately, gives you less, and it's fairly significant amount of less. It's 30 or 27,000, excuse me, or 2/3 of a, not 2/3, 3/4, excuse me, 3/4 of a Tier 2 Alpha for $50. This should be 4/4. This should be a fully formed one. So 27,000 instead of 36,000. Now, they do try to make the math a little bit more even by, in the last tier, which is the same price as Black Panther's Treasure, or $50 American, they give you the final 9,000 Tier 2 Alphas to form one T2 Alpha from shards, and then another fully formed T2 Alpha from just the overall nature of the bundle. So you get 2 fully formed Tier 2 Alphas by the time this $100 offer is bought in all 3 tiers. And then you also get 10 Tier 1 Alpha Catalyst. It really should be at least 15. And then, again, whoever thought of this, really, really terrible thoughts, only 25 more Tier 4 class Catalysts. I don't even know at this point, why have them in there? If you want to sweeten this and you want to give the whales a chance to want to buy this, especially because quite a few people now have Tier 2 Alphas overflowing in their inventory, you want to give them a chunk of Tier 5 Basic, especially if it's like 10,000 Tier 5 Basic. That would give quite a few people the incentive to go for the 3rd tier of this and spend the full $100 to get the bonus item of Tier 5 Catalyst Fragments. But instead, they give this really pathetic amount of Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, which isn't going to change anyone's account. In fact, it's just going to be a small pittance of a bonus throw-in. This is like beyond stale fortune cookies with your Chinese meal when they bring the check. This is just something that doesn't make any sense. At a minimum, this should be a fully formed Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystal. And that isn't even that great of a throw-in, but at least it's something that evolves far better than doubling the price of the first 2. So your $30 and your $20 for $50, and the third is that combined, right? From $50 to $100, you double the price, and yet you don't even double the Tier 4 class Catalyst Fragment Crystals. Why not at least make that, 30 Tier 4 class Fragment Crystals? That wouldn't be good, but at least that would sort of make sense. The math on that makes 0 sense. They double the gold, so at least that math makes sense, but they don't double the Tier 4 class Catalyst. So, I'm a bit underwhelmed by this, though it is far less trash than some of the truly terrible offers we've seen in the past week, from 4-star crystal shards for a crazy amount of units to just bundling Tier 4 basics and Tier 1 alphas for a ridiculous price. This at least has one of those items that most in-game players, when I say in-game because I feel like that triggers people, in-game means you've cleared most of the content in the game. Maybe you've 100% completed Act 5 but still have Variant like myself. Maybe you've cleared Act 5 but you still haven't done Labyrinth. It doesn't mean you've cleared everything, but it means you're focused on trying to get as much content cleared before Act 6, or that you're ready for Act 6. That might be a better way to phrase that from now on in these offer reviews. But, regardless, I just see this as a C- overall. A C is probably the 2 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst plus at least 2 guaranteed Tier 4 class Catalyst. That would be a fairly average asking price. However, because we don't even get the fully formed Tier 4 class Catalyst, it's a C-. If Kabam wanted to bump this up to a B or even a B+, A- value, it'd be pretty easy. They would just attach a fairly significant amount of Tier 5 basics onto the 3rd part of this bundle, because I do get they're a for-profit company and they want to incentivize people to get all 3 tiers of this bundle. They think the incentive is that fully formed Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst at the end, and while I get that that is a better value slightly than the first 2 bundles for your fragments, it's still not that much significant of value. So my last feedback is, if you do need a few more Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts, but you are saving your units and everything else for Blade, which is right around the corner in the contest, just get the first bundle if you want to round out one of those. It's not a great value, but it's not a terrible value. $20 is fairly inexpensive compared to the alternative. But I also want to say, in fairness, that $20 could still get you an entire price of a game in a console system, right? $20, especially used, can get you just about any game you want. That used to be the price of my old Nintendo GameCube that I would budget to get like the new Madden. And that probably is aging me very well, because I bet there are people who watch this who don't know what a GameCube is, or even a Nintendo 64, or certainly a Super Nintendo, or a regular Nintendo, or a Game Boy, because somebody at my church the other day asked what a Game Boy Color was, and I tried to explain that it really wasn't about color. It was like about one color, and then when the kid asked where the Wi-Fi was, I just walked away. Right? I died inside too much, and I felt like I was ancient. Same feeling I have when I try to explain to somebody what a floppy disk is. Anyhow, this is getting on a weird tangent in this video, so I'm just going to hit the stop record button and say thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support on my thank you for saying thank you video, and I'll be live streaming on YouTube for the first time since before Thanksgiving 2018 tonight around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I look forward to seeing many of you then. Until then, have a great day.